afternoon. My name is Teresa Kane, and I am the manager of commuter programs at Metro Transit. And I want to welcome you all to the 2016 Commuter Choice Awards. On behalf of Metro Transit and its partner organizations, Anoka County Commute Solutions, Move Minneapolis, Commuter Services, and St. Paul Smart Trips, thanks for joining us today as we recognize public, private, and individual contributions to sustainable transportation in the Twin Cities. I am honored today to introduce our guest presenter. A champion of regional mobility, James Hovland, has dedicated much of his public service to transportation policy and practice. He serves as the chair of the Transportation Advisory Board to the Metropolitan Council and the Municipal Legislative Commission. He's an active local leader in the planning process for Southwest Light Rail project and serves on the county's Transit Improvement Board. Please join me in welcoming to the stadium, and welcoming at the podium, Mayor James Hovland.
Thanks, Teresa. It's more like a bowling alley than a stadium. And we have events in here from time to time, and it's like you're talking to people in another time zone or zip code down at that end. But it's really a great building for us, for especially, I think, winter time, where this becomes a warming house with the fireplaces going at both ends and all the skaters out here. So if you haven't been to Edina or Centennial Lakes before, this is our most popular park by far. Created back in the mid-'80s, it's just kind of reached its full potential now with the vegetation and it was designed by a guy who lives here, but he's from Lithuania, so you can kind of feel the European influence of it as you walk around. And people in the office buildings down in the other segment walk around the whole thing. Non-motorized transportation, of course. And we've got 15 to 20,000 people a day that use this park in the summertime for a variety of reasons. And one of the things we've had from a challenge standpoint is getting people across France Avenue. We've got a large number of folks that live west of France Avenue, and they've got kids and relatives that come, grandmas, grandpas, and getting them across France Avenue has been difficult. So we put in these three strategic locations where we created these landing pads. I don't know if you noticed that coming down France, where people could get across. And then we improved the boulevard along with the county. And then we put in this lighting that's kind of controversial. I don't know if you've noticed it, but when we do something that people like from a lighting standpoint, then they're happy. Like right now, it's been purple since Prince died, and they're going to keep it that way. I guess there won't be a funeral, but I guess he was cremated. So then they're okay. Or when there's a tragedy like in France and it's blue, white, and red, then they're okay. But otherwise, you get a lot of criticism for it. But I want to thank you folks for having me here. Transportation is so vitally important. From the ancient days of the Roman Empire, no great society could function without transportation infrastructure for moving both people and goods. And that same thing is true today. What we're blessed with now, I think, in a way, I hope it turns into a real blessing, is that we've got both Republicans and Democrats at the legislature saying we need to do something about our transportation infrastructure. It's just not functioning properly, whether it's in our area, in the metro area, where we have a greater emphasis on transit, or it's in rural Minnesota, where there's actually a need for rural transit, and then making sure that those roads are in good condition and primarily from a safety standpoint. So we've got some common goals here. I don't know if, frankly, if Greater Minnesota appreciates the fact that we need to move so many people around here. I don't think they quite get that, the importance of transit. When you talk to the legislature about Southwest LRT, for example, where we've got this incredible opportunity where for every dollar invested, the federal government pays 50 cents of that investment, and the county's Transit Improvement Board pays 30 cents. The Hennepin County Rail Authority is going to pay 10 cents, and we're only asking for 10 cents out of every dollar invested, a total of $135 million from the legislature. And there's some there that don't think it's a good idea. It's not a good investment. And we can't prosper as a region, we can't grow as a region, we can't become global in the way we want to be as a region without creating a system of moving people around effectively And Southwest LRT helps us finally create that system. And then we'll have Botno and a few others coming behind, but Southwest leads the way. Without Southwest, those other things aren't going to happen. Because if the federal government gets wind of if they sense that our state doesn't support this idea, they've got plenty of places to spend that money. And so I would urge all of you to really think about contacting your legislators, Democrats, Republicans, whoever they are, and stress the urgency of this session for getting a transportation bill passed, and especially here in the metro with transit that we need so vitally. And if we can, frankly, if we can get a half-cent sales tax increase in the metro area, we wouldn't have to worry about the legislature being involved in any of our future funding needs. And we can take care of ourselves. And for me, from being involved in transportation issues for over a decade, that's a good feeling. I don't like going to the legislature and asking them for even a 10% investment and having them tell us no, for a variety of reasons. It could be political or just bias. Anyway, I'm taking too long. We're going to have our association and our communities with 494 Commuter Services, which has done such a great job. But I know all over the metro, all the commuter services operations are working so hard to get people out of single occupant vehicles and into vanpooling, carpooling, and other methods of moving people around in an efficient way. So I want to congratulate all of you and these companies that are up for awards today, whether they're nonprofits, utilities, for-profit companies, individuals. We got some great individuals that are nominees. I want to thank all of you for the work that you do, and I look forward to the presentation of the awards. Teresa, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hovland. So, we're here to recognize employers, organizations, and individuals who provide commuting solutions to our communities. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'd like to take a moment to explain the process leading up to today's events. Each year, we receive dozens of nominations from around the region. Judges are recruited to review nominations in one of the 5 categories: building owner or management company, employer, government entity, individual, and organization. This year, our 24 nominated projects and initiatives were scored on criteria related to impact, creativity, overall success, and nomination clarity. In addition to selecting the winners, judges are given the opportunity to identify nominations that may not have received the highest score, but merited special recognition. Before we announce the 2016 Commuter Choice Award winners and honorable mention recipients, we must recognize that none of this would be possible without the work of our independent judging panel. These individuals volunteer their time to carefully review and score each nomination in their designated category. Judges, if you could please stand up so that we can properly recognize your efforts. Now on to the business of the day. We have transportation champions in this room today, and the nominations speak volumes about the effort and dedication many of you apply to your daily living. Nominees will be recognized along with the honorable mention recipients and winners in each category. Honorable mention recipients, please stand when you're announced so that we may acknowledge you properly. Award winners, please come to the stage and receive your award, your plaque from Mayor Hovland. Our first category is Building Owner and Management Company, representing projects that were carried out in 2015 that improved commuting options for their tenants. As I announce the nominees, I ask you that you hold your applause until the end. The nominees in the Building Owner and Management category are Centerpoint Energy in Minneapolis, Hines Property Management and U.S. Bank Plaza in Minneapolis, Cushman, Wakefield, and Northmarq, and Normandale Lake Office Park in Bloomington. Among those nominees, judges had these comments for our first honorable mention recipient. I applaud their efforts to reduce traffic. This is a true partnership. The first Commuter Choice honorable mention in the Building Owner and Property Management category goes to Cushman, Wakefield, Northmarq. Please stand up. Thank you. The second honorable mention in this category was given this praise by the judges. They deserve public acknowledgement of their outstanding civic contributions to our environment. The second 2016 honorable mention in the building owner and property management category goes to Hines Property Management. This year's winner brought a new corporate headquarters into downtown Minneapolis and dedicated a portion of their space to a destination visitor center. Located steps from the Nicollet Mall Metro Station, Meet Minneapolis and its TMO partner, Move Minneapolis. They are available 7 days a week to provide transportation information and resources to travelers, commuters, and community members. Please welcome the 2016 Commuter Choice Building Management Company of the Year, CenterPoint Energy.
Thank you very much. Yes, very pleased. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next category is the Commuter Choice Government Entity of the Year, representing public sector achievements that improve mobility options for communities. This year's sole nominee and winner has greatly improved the lives of low-income families in St. Paul by using transportation options to promote self-reliance, financial stability, and health equity. Partnerships with Alina, Nice Ride, Free Bikes for Kids, and Cycles for Change have provided opportunities for public housing residents to join their neighbors or local physician for a walk to learn how to ride and repair a bike and get around town without a vehicle. Residents who have participated in these initiatives report feeling better, stronger, and surprised by how far they could ride a bike. They are interested in learning more about bike commuting and see themselves as role models and leaders in their community. Please welcome the 2016 Commuter Choice Environment Entity of the Year, the St. Paul Public Housing Agency. Our next category is the Commuter Choice Employer of the Year, representing companies around the region that go above and beyond to encourage sustainable commuting among their employees. As I announce the winners, I ask that you hold your applause till the end. Abbott Northwestern Hospital in Minneapolis, Bar Engineering of Edina, Be the Match in Minneapolis, Best Buy headquartered in Richfield, Fresh Energy in St. Paul, Gillette Children's Hospital in St. Paul, Mall of America in Bloomington, Sovos Compliance in Minnetonka, TCF Bank in Plymouth, and Wells Fargo in Minneapolis. If you could stand and we can all recognize this. A testament to the quality of the nominations this year, the judges voted to bestow honorable mention upon 3 employer nominees. Our first honorable mention goes to a company about which the judges said the creativity in which they promote their programs is exceptional and should be recognized. The first honorable mention in the employer category goes to Bar Engineering Company. The second Commuter Choice honorable mention in the employer category goes to Be the Match for all the great work that they did getting their employees to and from downtown and taking advantage of the local transit and opportunities around their area. So welcome. Thank you. Be the Match. Finally, the judges had this to say about our third nominee. The Go Green Company initiative is genuine in how they promote commuting options. The final Commuter Choice honorable mention in the employer category goes to Sovos Compliance. This year's winner makes sustainable commuting the easiest choice for its 20 employees who earn an extra $2 a day when they walk or bike to work. Transit is subsidized at 50% and can be paid with pre-tax dollars, while Nice Ride memberships are fully subsidized. Additionally, employers are encouraged to use car sharing for workday travel that can't easily be accomplished by transit, bike, or on foot. Our 2016 Commuter Choice of the Year, Employer of the Year is Fresh Energy. Next is the individual category, representing multimodal champions who use their personal resources to introduce others to the benefits of commuting sustainably. First is Rebecca Airmet, Bill Chase, Jeff Hainlin, Chris Kasich, Barry Katz, Wes Malberg, Brian Nelson, and Bob Simon. You can Judges elected to bestow honorable mention upon 2 nominees in the individual category. Our first nominee, a judge, said she seems very passionate about healthy commuting in her personal and professional efforts and is involved in many volunteer leadership efforts. A Commuter Choice honorable mention in the individual category goes to Rebecca Airmet of St. Paul. Our second honorable mention recipient, one judge said, as a citizen of Bloomington, I have seen his efforts improve awareness and infrastructure for biking. The second Commuter Choice honorable mention in the individual category goes to Jeff Hainlin of Bloomington. This year's winner has gone above and beyond to improve access to sustainable transportation for his colleagues. From his start as a store employee, this Best Buy staffer has long advocated for expanding the company's commuter benefits beyond corporate headquarters. Over the last year, he has worked across departments to make that a reality. The 2016 Commuter Champion of the Year is Brian Nelson. Next is the organization category, representing groups that have come together with the common goal of improving multimodal access and options within their community. The nominees are Minnesota Life College and the Greater St. Paul Building Owners and Managers Association. This year's winner has the humbling and inspiring mission of training young adults affected by the autism spectrum and other learning differences to become successful, independent members of their communities. Part of the training includes extensive experience navigating the public regional transit system and accessing other sustainable options. Please welcome the 2016 Commuter Choice Organization of the Year, Minnesota Life College. For your award.
I didn't know we were getting it.
As you've heard, this past year has been marked by some incredible efforts and accomplishments on improving how our region moves. Thank you to everyone here for your hard work and dedication to maximizing our infrastructure through smarter, clean commute options. I have 4 final housekeeping items. First, we would appreciate if you could return your name tags in the box by the registration table so that we may reuse them. Secondly, if you haven't already, all nominees should pick up their certificates at the registration table. And third, winners and honorable mention recipients, please meet at the registration table for photographs. And finally, just to let you know, you should expect to receive an event valuation by email later this week. We really appreciate the feedback that we get about these awards. with this award program. Please take a few moments to fill it out, and we want to make sure that everyone is meeting the needs. So thank you very much for attending.